Hello everyone, welcome back to the Royalty Soaps and the long anticipated party era collection. This collection is inspired by Taylor Swift and all of her many different eras. It has a little bit of birthday pizzazz in there because my birthday is this month. I'm going to show you my Pinterest board for this. It just included a lot of really aesthetic groupings of Taylor Swift albums, some of her outfits, other colors I felt just really kind of matched the theme. And we're starting off strong because this soap originally was going to be called Lavender Haze. I talk about that in the video. And then literally after making the soap, I was like, I don't know if that is actually accurate. So I took to TikTok and Instagram and they were like, absolutely not. This is definitely a Speak Now soap. And so that's what the question of the day is going to be. At the end of the video, you can vote on the poll on Instagram to help me pick the name for this soap. We're going to pick a Speak Now inspired name. And the day that I released that TikTok, she released Speak Now Taylor's version. So I just feel like it's fate. The background this month is phenomenal. I want to do this every single month now. So these are all little like Taylor Swift inspired images. I have on the cutest shirt. It says, "Best believe I'm still bejeweled." And look at him. And then on the bottom, it says, "I can still make the whole place shimmer," because I feel like Bejeweled is one of the best songs that she has. Anyway, this month is going to be an absolute blast. I'm going to be posting all over the interwebs because I have not been so excited for a soap launch probably since we did the Animal Crossing soaps. So enjoy this first soap. There's a lot more where this came from. We're going to be doing like 2 uploads a week for this, and I'm going to be putting the official launch date of this collection on the screen now so that you can see it. I am going to be putting together a bundled collection of the Taylor Swift soaps because there are already people asking for it. I may also have, I'm not making a promise, but I'm just saying I may also have some body lotions and diamond soaps that also fall into the Taylor Swift category that will also be a limited release. I'm just letting you know. I do expect this collection to be extremely popular just based on the amount of DMs I have already received about it after releasing literally just the top of one of the soaps. And what was that soap? It's the one we're making today, gosh darn it. So without further ado, let's make some soap. Before we start blending anything up, I thought I would show you the fragrance that I'm using for today's soap. So obviously for a lavender haze soap, you have to use a lavender smell. It just makes sense. But I love the fragrance Lavender Martini because it has a smell of lavender. But there are other fragrances in here that complement the lavender smell and really elevate it. So if lavender isn't normally your thing, I definitely recommend trying this fragrance oil because this is just lavender but better. This entire soap is going to be purple. We are really leaning into the lavender. Gonna go ahead and blend this up. So let's talk about the Eras Tour. Let's talk about Taylor Swift. Let's talk about why you've probably never heard me mention her on this channel, but why I felt like this collection couldn't have come at a better time. But first I'll blend up this soap. Okay, that looks absolutely beautiful. Exactly the right color. I need, if I'm going to be making lavender soap, to have the base be a really light color so that when I add the purples in, it's a little more muted. So first thing I should say is that obviously whenever Taylor Swift was getting started and she was becoming extremely popular and she was winning awards and she was doing Taylor Swift the album and all of that, I was around for that, okay? I was fully conscious. I was a teenager and she was definitely in my music roundup. Music was so important to high schoolers, and I had multiple songs of hers in my repeated playlist. Now, would I call myself a Swiftie? Would I call myself a die-hard Taylor fan? Not at the time, though I will say, as I've continued to get older, I like her more and more. In other words, Taylor Swift is not a foreign concept. but I also wasn't at the like screaming, crying, throwing up level of fandom. So there you go. There's kind of a bit of like my backstory. Definitely knew who she was, had some of her songs on repeat, didn't go much further than that. But this year specifically, you can go back and look on my Instagram and see that the word that I chose for my word of the year is sisterhood. I'm really trying to pour into the women and girls that I know this year, and it's become extremely important to me, especially as I raise a daughter of my own. So enter the Eras Tour that started this year. And one of the #1 things that I have seen come out of this tour, obviously great for branding, great for PR, great for marketing for the Swiftie team, but I have just seen an absolute outpouring of girl to girl love. So many people are going to this tour and they're sharing bracelets with one another and they're complimenting each other on the outfits that are painstakingly made over months and months and months. And every time I see people come away from these concerts, they're just so alive. They're so happy. And we just love to see a girl supporting another girl. So as I have continued to kind of watch content around it, it has inspired me more and more. So enter July, my birthday month. My birthday is July 26th, and typically I have done collections that are kind of birthday themed. I am turning 29 this year, and I was just like, you know what? I should combine some of the like gorgeous color palettes that Taylor Swift has made throughout the years with like kind of like a birthday aesthetic a little bit Y2K, kind of mishmash all those up together with some girls support girls action, you know? So I don't know, that's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, let's go ahead and blend these up and make sure that the colors are different enough. They may not be, I may have to add some more titanium dioxide. Okay, so purples, purples are hard for a reason, right? But don't worry, I have some extra things over here on the side because I knew this was gonna be a possibility. And the fix for this is actually pretty simple. Okay, add a little bit of our accent color into there, add a little more TD, and this will take this color where we need it to be. And if you're wondering how I got these colors in the first place, I did have to blend two purples together. I mixed Purple Vibrance with Heliotrope. So Purple Vibrance is from Nurture Soap, Heliotrope is from Mad Micah's, and it's given us this perfect kind of red toned purple, which was of course the point because you've got lavender haze going on, and also a little bit inspired by the purple dress Taylor wears on the cover of Speak Now. So I had multiple reasons for this. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pour in my accent colors. And as you can see, I know these look really similar in color tone, and they are, but there's definitely a distinction there. So I wanted a distinction, but I didn't want it to be too extreme. I'm pouring in all of the medium purple, and then I'm gonna leave some of the lightest purple for the top for a bit of swirling. So once again, just gonna pour all this in here, different color purple, and then I am not going to scrape out the inside. I'll leave it just like this. Gorgeous. And now we can move on to the pouring. Here are some more things I love, is I love the lore behind Taylor Swift as an artist. I love that her fans are always like, what's she gonna do? What are the hidden signs of this and that? Like, what are the little Easter eggs she's left in her concerts or in her advertisements or in her music videos? That's fun. I love stuff like that. I always have, hence the Secret Soap series. So I love all the little sneaky like fan and Taylor things. I also really love that small businesses and other fans make Taylor Swift merch that only Swifties would understand. Or maybe they wanted like a subtle tribute that isn't just like a Taylor Swift poster on the wall. You know, like maybe they just want something slightly more elevated or something just with her lyrics on it. And so they're filling the gap in the market for those things. And it's so gorgeous. Like they do such a good job. I saw one girl make posters specifically. If I can find her TikTok, I'll share it because I was like, ooh, I kind of want one of those. Those look really cool. I could probably never make enough soaps to fully cover the whole spectrum of the like legends Taylor Swift has created. So I'm only making 5 different soaps here, and my goal here is to authentically create Taylor Swift items that mean something to me because I am attached to them through history, or the music videos just really connected with me in some way, because I truly could never capture all of the different, like, her eras, because there's so many of them. Like, it's legit, there's so many different things that she's done. I would never be able to get all of them, so I'm just picking the ones that were important to me during a certain time of my life, or I really connected with visually, etc., etc. So the Lavender Haze music video is so beautiful, and I love the color lavender. That's just super nice. It's kind of a running theme in a lot of her videos. Obviously, the purple on the Speak Now thing, I think that's one of the absolute prettiest, like, pictures. So yeah, there's my reasoning behind this particular soap. It's kind of fun geeking out about it, I'm not gonna lie. And then I'm going to swirl this top very delicately. This fragrance oil makes a very runny soap batter. In the future, I may let it set up a little bit more, but for now, I'm just gonna let it sit like this, kind of sit up a little. I'm probably gonna wait about 15 minutes before I come back and try to texture the top. And yeah, oh, look how pretty though, my goodness. Alrighty, so everything has set up a little bit, and I went ahead and pre-marked where all of my bars are, and I did that while I was standing directly over it so it wouldn't all lean one way. That's something I have a problem with. So I'm just going to add in one little tumbled amethyst crystal onto the top of each bar. I'm going to try to place them in the way that creates the thinnest little profile here, so that whenever we cut them, they don't accidentally drag on the sides of our cutter. It also looks prettier if they stick up that way. Just a few more to go here, and then I'm going to texture a little bit of the top, I think. A little bit of texture does so much for keeping bits of glitter in place, and also I just think it feels nice, like when you take a shower, to have a little bit of a texture on the top of your soap bar. So I'm actually going to do this with a palette knife today, just to sort of get, yeah, just a little bit in there like this. It still leaves some of the swirls, but anywhere where it's, you know, looking a little bit plain, it's kind of nice to have just a little something there on the sides. Then we can go in and add a little bit of glitter. Oh, so cute. Okay, perfect. And now we can add the fun part, which is my eco-friendly, biodegradable, plastic-free glitter. This glitter blend is actually from a couple of different suppliers. It is from Mad Micah's, it is from the Good Glitter, and it's also from Brambleberry. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. There's some little hollow stars in it. We have a little bit of purple, some teeny tiny bits of hollow as well. Again, very, very Speak Now. Just like so. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm obsessed. I always add more than what I want, because when you cut things the next day, not every single thing is going to stick to the top of the soap. All right, one more little bit right here. Make sure all those corners and everybody gets a fair amount. And that's it. We're done with Lavender Haze. This is what the top of our soap bar looks like. Oh, I'm so obsessed. It's so fun, and that purple is exactly the right color. Ugh, I cannot wait to unmold this tomorrow. Y'all, look at this soap! Ah! All of the purple, it turned out perfect. And yes, it is very much Speak Now. So I'm going to ask the question of the day here, but I'm going to let the final tally be on Instagram. We have to pick a name for this Speak Now soap. We could call it Speak Now. Or these are some suggestions from TikTok and Instagram because I already asked them over there. We could call it Sparks Fly, or we could call it Enchanted. So Speak Now, Sparks Fly, or Enchanted. The official poll will be on Instagram, but feel free to tell me down in the comments below. Now, mine is really swirly, y'all. It's really swirly. The future bars will have more definition, but I'm obsessed with this. The smell, incredible. I love this fragrance. Every time I use it, I get people asking customer service, when are you going to use that scent again? Because it's so good. These bars really do encapsulate like that whole album. What was I thinking? Calling this lavender haze. This does not feel lavender haze. It does feel Speak Now. So feel free to weigh in on that question of the day. And please look at these bars. Obsessed. Okay, and this is why I'm saying, even if you don't like Taylor Swift, you're not a Swiftie. You just don't enjoy her music. You don't have anything against her. You just don't enjoy it. All of these soaps are still like beautiful. Obviously, there are some references that the Swifties will get down with and will understand. But if you don't like it, it's literally scented like lavender apple. Okay, like that's just a good smell. And I will say, just quickly, I have some surprises up my sleeve for launch day for this particular collection. I have surprises I'm not telling anybody about until either the day before or the day of. So again, mark your alarms. I will be leaving an alarm on TikTok for those of y'all who want me to like just plug that in so you can just add it to your phone. Speak Now soap is done. Which Taylor era will we do next? Well, you'll have to subscribe to see, and we'll be back soon to make another Taylor Swift soap. So until then, have an absolutely royal day. Do something fun for yourself today. If you haven't listened to the Speak Now Taylor's version, you really should because it's really kind of sweet. Though I will say the criticisms of it not being quite as like, ooh, angsty because she's, you know, in her 30s now and she just wasn't as angry about certain breakups when she recorded this new one, I would say are valid. Those are valid. So it is kind of a more like soothing album at this point. I still think it's worth a listen. Just do something fun for yourself today. I don't care what it is, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.